Dr. Sudhainga ma'am is the professor and head of Department of Pathology, Rajaraja Medical College, Gwalior. Our next panelist is the first question that Dr. Preetilata Rai, that what are the national guidelines for attendance for a medical student, how strictly they are being implemented across the institution, and should attendance be seen as...
So good afternoon everyone. Thank you ma'am. So national guidelines for the attendance is being laid upon by National Medical Commission percent attendance in the theory classes and 80% in the practice. These subjects the student has to fulfill this attendance guidelines of 75% and 80% separately in all the phases. And then their cumulative achieved attendance of 60%, remedial classes or we can say additional classes can be arranged by the that particular subject teachers. And to say that though the NMC has given the guidelines of 75% in theory and 80% in practical classes, but the all classes are important because the students are learning all classes. So our target should be that the students should achieve 100% attendance. But the second part of question, that is whether these guidelines are strictly implemented. So NMC ensures that these guidelines should be strictly implemented in all the medical colleges throughout the country, and NMC is monitoring it. And on NMC website it is reflected that many of the students have been debarred for appearing in examinations on the basis of their low attendance. But the exact facts and figures has been not published yet by NMC. Though NMC says that the quantitative presence of student is very important, and that is only eligible officially that the student should be present in the class. But nowadays, as new curriculum has been introduced, competency-based medical education, and the government has introduced NEP, National Education Policy 2020. So on the basis of that, they have been focusing on qualitative engagement also of the students by ensuring that there should be interactive learning. Several faculty development programs are being conducted so that the student should be present both mentally and physically in the class.
Thank you, Preeti, for reminding us that we need at least 80% clinical attendance, which is a must. Now that brings us to the second question. When this decline in the attendance started, is it seen only in the MBBS courses or it is seen in other streams too? And what are the evidences? And I would direct this question to Dr. Sudha ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Neetu. A very good afternoon to the audience. Though I see a very small audience, I really wish I had more teachers here and more of the MBBS students. Sorry to know about that. But then, as you see in this PPT, it has been a chronic issue. It is not a new thing at all. And you see that it has been there since 8 to 10 years. How did it come to notice? Actually, it came into notice only after COVID. What happened before COVID? Even we used to do that. We used to look at something fast learning. We wanted to know something new which others didn't know. We wanted to know. But then came Google, and Google had everything. So when we were there to do it, why not our kids? So that is what they are also doing too. But what happened during COVID? The COVID-19 actually gave us the opportunity to find out means to teach everything, even the physical skills, be it physical or just the theoretical part of any subject. They learned means of teaching material. So what happened was they taught physical skills too, they taught even the theory through online teaching. So that was a big setback, probably a setback if I may call it so. And now that has become a big problem to the educators. Why? Wikipedia never had, or prior to COVID, all the material that was there in online was not nicely formatted. Now I have all the information nicely formatted. I click on one particular subject, I can put a big question and I get so many references. So obviously I can choose my reference and then I can take out cross references and I can learn. When I can do it, the student who comes in after the age of 18, so obviously he's an adult too, she is an adult, so obviously they can do it too. Now you see that last thing what the graduate medical education regulations say, I'm again reinforcing what Dr. Preeti said, It has to be theory 75% attendance and 80% attendance. Obviously, the clinical activities, the skills that they learn, everything has to be there. So obviously, the practical has become 80% attendance. Thank you, Dr. And then coming to the second part of my question, is it widespread? It is just not happening only to us. It is happening everywhere, in every stream it is happening. If you can see that list, it goes up till nursing, where nursing actually has to happen only with a lot of physical skills. So even there it happens. And then they have seen that this is obviously larger absenteeism happens in humanities and in arts colleges, whether it be it in the rural population or in the urban population. The humanities, the major absenteeism happens in humanities and arts, and probably business and economics. But in medical schools world over, if you see, it is declining slowly up to 19.6%. And if you can see the last thing, it should have probably come up first there. Even John Hopkins and Harvard Medical Schools have started complaining about some activities of theirs having this absenteeism. So that is one thing that everybody, not only we Indians, are facing this problem worldwide. And then you also see that all this started, in the mid-2010s. There was a study by the Association of American Medical Colleges where between 2015 and 17 they studied the second phase medical students. And what happened? The second phase medical student, you see that attendance, it started from 52.3 and then it declined to 47.3 in the same year. So is with the first year student. The first years itself, they come here after the school where attendance was a must. They come here with initial third of the first year with only 76% of the attendance. Just imagine. And that dwindled to the last third of the first year to 26%. So obviously the students feel, if it is just a core subject, 50% of the students feel that it doesn't matter. Self-study. So that is what they feel. And mind you, the 75% of the theory, is never met with, because though it is GMAT ka standard, it is never met with worldwide. And obviously, as I told you, that last thing, COVID-19 brought up all this problem. It aggravated. Now, now we are all talking about it. Why are we all talking about it? Because we have also become very, vociferous about it. We are talking to our other colleges. There are so many colleges. We go and then we say they are absenting. And Dr. Saab actually, he made a very important comment. What was that? He said, does any MBBS student fail? So we don't fail anybody. We don't let them not take an exam because of attendance. So I think basically if you bring in attendance as important feature, bring in some rules, regulations which all of the panelists will be talking, and then probably we can break with that particular norm where I will not be allowed to, I will have the capacity to stop my student because of attendance from attending that particular phase exam. Thank you very much. And this is another part of my question, which is about the evidence. I would like you to look at that first evidence. This is okay, you click on the evidence, everybody knows about it. Just like we saw the students, the final year students coming and telling us, that particular person, his name is Varad, and then, you know what, he stays in hostel number 1, room number 2 in All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi. And that student has said, in fact, if you read the article, he says that he also only went for so many classes that he may be able to attend the exam. So he also bunked classes. But he says the classes are important, and along with that, make it more interactive. But my plea here is, how do I make it interactive? I need more time. I am a pathologist, and pathology has been truncated from 1.5 years to 10 months. Now, how will I do justice to the student when I am going to tell him think, pair, share? I put a question there and say think, pair, share. And then I will give them a topic, we do a flipped classroom. Impossible. In 10 months, I find it so difficult to go and rattle out in that lecture, open that PPT, read the point and come out. For that itself, I find I don't have enough classes. So it is a big, I don't know, like should we increase the number of years? maybe they reduce the number of years instead of adding more years to MBBS, should be reduced. They reduced it, but then, in my opinion, they have to increase the time period so that everybody gets, enough time to study. Medical education says so many things. Interactive, ऐसे करो, कैसे कर लोगे? उसी, if you do an activity, they give you 1.5 hours for the activity, and then for a lecture you are given only 20 minutes. Imagine. So activity करना है. If the student has to learn from me actively, I need more time. I stay my thing here. It's too long.
Thank you, Sudha ma'am, for telling us that there are enough evidences that children are working the class. But this is what we know. The next question is to Dr. Bharati, that how do other faculty members and student perceives about their absence?
Good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. So, as just now, what Sudha he talk about this these classes throughout the day, and I had the opportunity to talk to different teachers from different parts of India in last 1.5 day. So, as a faculty, we all are worried about this declining trend in the UG classes. But then there are a few studies done in India only. So when a cross-sectional survey was done, so it came out that majority of teachers feel that they perceive that this attendance has declined over the years. But there is no difference between the various subjects, be it clinical, preclinical or paraclinical. And then there is no significant difference even in the class of an experienced teacher or a less experienced teacher. But then attendance in the class does depend upon the skill of teaching of a teacher. So that motivates the student to attend the class. And if we talk about the student, how they perceive their absenteeism, so thus for them it doesn't matter to attend the class because they know that somehow at the end they will be allowed to attend to give the examination. So that it's kind of a cool feeling for them. It's cool for them to not to attend the class. But then both faculty and student, they do agree that this is going to affect their academic grades. And so there occurs disconnect between the teacher and the student, and it negatively affects this relationship between a teacher and student. And when a majority of students are absent from the class, so faculty feels it is the wastage of resources. Wastage of educational material, wastage of human potential as well as time, and even it also affects the learning environment of the class because the other students who are attending the class, they kind of feel like demotivated. And even at times, this very less number of students in the class, a teacher may also feel a kind of demotivation or demoralized. They may have this feeling that because when a teacher prepares for the class, he goes through the text. He may go through the 1 or 2 textbook. He comes prepared for the class, just to find that there are only 10 or 15% of the students who have come to attend the class. So this is my view, and thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Bharati. Let's find out from Dr. Sudha ma'am, what impact does this low attendance have on academic performance?
Now here again, there is a little bit of a flowchart that I made. See that poor attendance obviously gives a very poor attitude for the child to be learning, whether it is a school student or a college student. The attitude dwindles, they don't attend. It becomes a habit in them. And that obviously learning का एक urge होता है, वो खत्म हो जाता है. So that attitude of learning comes down, and poor attendance itself hampers the learning process. What is the learning process? Process is, suppose I'm a pathologist, so I talk about my Robbins. So suppose I start this year of class with chapter 1. So chapter 1 Robbins ने भी ऐसे ही लिखा, chapter 1 पढ़े तो chapter 2 समझ में आएगा, chapter 2 everything is interlinked. And then without reading the general pathology, I may not be able to see that cellular problems that is occurring in any malignancy. So we talk so much about molecular, we talk about so many things that internal milieu of a cell that changes when there is some pathology occurring. So obviously, I should have a flow. So that flow, that learning process itself gets handled. He will come to one class, probably the inaugural one of the general center, whatever it is, that particular chapter, that particular part of that particular subject. And then, obviously, he has to give his final exam. So it will affect his scores. Academic performance obviously comes down. And then what happens later on? When he attends the class, he learns to, interact with his friends, with his peers. He knows how to talk to his peers. And then he also understands how to talk to his teachers, how to talk to his role models, how to talk to some of his mentors. Now, the NMC has said, now you are a mentor to this particular student. I just would like to tell you about one thing. End of last year, one boy suddenly calls me. He said, I want to meet you. I said, please come over. He said, madam, मेरे को फिजियोलॉजी में बिना अटेंडेंस की मेरे को मना कर दी एग्जाम में बिठाने के। मेरे को क्यों बोल रहे फिजियोलॉजी? आप मेरे मेंटर हो। So now see how you then misuse a mentor. So that is what happens. See, there will be less of that professionalism. Probably, if you had understood, you would have understood how to, this is called as non-verbal communication. Like I don't have to teach something, but from me, I have some things in me. Maybe my punctuality, maybe my way of approaching a subject, way of किसी को मतलब डांटने के जो भी तरह that is professionalism. I told you about the interpersonal relationship, and then I told you about the teacher and the student relationship. And now this is going to, as the previous two and against went on that particular debate. So you saw that this MBBS will lay a strong foundation. Now I would like to also add one more thing here. How will he get disciplined? How will he be responsible for his behavior? Only when he is going to interact with peers. Not by sitting in front of some, some screen time he is spending. He will not be able to do that. He has to come into the society, interact. He will know how he has to talk to his patient. At the same time, he will know how to talk to his friends, talk to his peers, talk to his seniors, talk to his role model, and probably his mentor too. And that will also add to his decision making skills. अभी तो अपने को हमेशा पता चलता है भैया ये पिट गया वो पिट गया क्यों होता है? See that decision making, probably he has not learned that little bit from his teacher, from that particular clinician. He has not learned where I have to stop, where I have to be more careful. So that is what he has not learned because he has not been attentive. And then he learns the attitudes. Obviously, this is a non-verbal communication. How? The way they take care, they carry themselves, the way they talk, the way they walk, everything is taken up by the student. They are watching you always. That's what I always say. And finally, social awareness, and they are able to manage themselves better. Carry themselves better, manage themselves better, and manage situations better. And finally, why do we do all this? Again, coming back to the NMC, they want a good Indian medical graduate. Only if this flowchart goes ahead, you will get a good Indian medical graduate. Sir, we can have the questions later.
Thank you, Sudha ma'am, for telling us it not only affects the academic performance, but the social skills are also affected. My next question is to Dr. Preeti, that how this low attendance affects the health services.
Thank you, ma'am. So, as we have listened to everybody and we are on this key, absenteeism means inadequate clinical exposure. They are not being exposed properly, so they have low competence, low knowledge. midway he had a chest pain. So he suspected that, and that was increasing. He was driving, so that was continuously increasing. So he stopped in nearby a hospital, a huge, I can say that a very renowned hospital, chain of hospitals present all over India. So he stopped there and he went to the emergency, telling them that I am not feeling well. And he sat there. Nobody was there to attend him. Then he called the medical officer posted there. He said that is there no doctor to attend me? He said कि I am here. मैं ही डॉक्टर हूँ. अभी मैं ही आपको अटेंड करूँगा. अभी आप बताइए आपको क्या हो रहा है? He said that I am having chest pain and he saw that he was having cyanosis too. So he said क्योंकि आप बैठिए अभी मैं देखता हूँ. Said कि अभी तुम मुझे देखो मत. You just take some oxygen. I am not feeling well. You get the oxygen for me. तो अभी वो चला गया. Then he didn't return for next 10 minutes and sir was feeling very uneasy. So he said, he told his wife, she is also a doctor, कि देखो इधर कोई cylinder हो oxygen का तो ले आओ. Then he arranged for himself only with the help of his wife, and वो फिर मिलके उन्होंने खुद को ऑक्सीजन लगाया. थोड़ी देर के बाद he said कि I felt better. So he called his friend who is a cardiologist, well-renowned cardiologist. He is working the same chain of hospitals but at a different place. बोला कि यार मुझे तुम्हारी हेल्प चाहिए. Nobody is here to look after me. तो उन्होंने फिर वहाँ के कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट को फोन किया. Then he came there and sir was given a proper treatment there. He was advised PTCA, he underwent PTCA there and then only. So the thing is that, and when sir inquired कि वो जो डॉक्टर था वहाँ पोस्टेड वो क्या था, तो he came to know that he was an MBBS doctor and he did his MBBS from well-renowned some college. So the interpretation is that कि with the decreased clinical competence, one cannot even recognize what is emergency and what help one has to provide to a patient who is coming. Because they will not be able to diagnose, they will not be able to know what treatment, how to manage that patient and what emergency care they have to give. And the chances of errors increase, as ma'am said that they are not reading their subjects properly, they are not exposed to that, so they do not know what is the pathophysiology behind that, what is the pharmacology, and what are the procedural protocols they have to undertake at that particular moment. And this also, because of inadequate exposure, they are not interacting with the patients, they are not coming to the wards, they have weak communication and empathy skills. Because these skills can only be nurtured when they are interacting with the patient frequently. So they have no empathy, weak communication skills, and a person who is not going to classes, then there will be reduced academic interest, so no curiosity, no innovation, so no research. And in all these, if we see, these will accumulate and result in a strained health system in which some of the clinicians will be overburdened, some of the hospitals will be overburdened. In future, this is going to be the impact on future health services. And we are worried that what will happen to ourselves in old age when we will be taking these strain, will be exposed to these strained, overburdened health systems.
Thank you, Preeti. So after knowing the impact of students not going to the class, not learning well, let's learn what are the main reasons for the low attendance. I would request Dr. Bharati to enlighten us.
Most of us know that the causes for this absenteeism are multifactorial, and they may vary from a personal problem of a student to the teaching methodology, to the infrastructure. There may be problem with the curriculum, there may be problem with the timing of the classes, and but then I think majority of us would agree that it is the need pre-PG, because the student starts preparing for this pre-PG since the very beginning of the MBBS. So it is one of the important cause that they are not attending the MBBS class. Reason being the method of assessment in pre-PG and in MBBS is different, as Neeti ma'am has highlighted. So being this, and they just want to pass MBBS, but then they want a good rank in the NEET PPG, so they get the branch of their choice, college of their choice. So it is one of the commonest cause. Then during a few surveys in few colleges of our India, it was found out that the students they also they bunk classes before their exams, like whenever they have sessional exam, pre-university or university. So prior to that, they would be bunking their classes. Before some festival, they will be mass bunk. They will be doing mass bunk of the classes. Sometimes there is some kind of peer pressure from the seniors. Why do you people attend classes? So these are the causes. And then there may be problem with the teaching methodology. They don't find the lectures as engaging or as interactive. The teacher may not. Then this generation Z, Gen Z, it is a very much techno-savvy generation. So maybe the methodology of the teacher they don't find that much interesting. And as seats have increased, nowadays we have a 250 in few medical colleges. There are 250 students per year. So then in a large group, that much interaction is not possible. That is also maybe a reason. Then there may be problem with the infrastructure. Though with the new buildings, they have smart classes, they have good lecture halls with AC and all that. But then all that may not be properly maintained. AC may not be functioning. There may be poor ventilation. So these are the causes related to infrastructure. And then these students, they may have some problem with the hostel, maybe food, water, their sanitation, light, maybe they are awake till late night in the night, so they are not able to get up for the morning class. And then related to curriculum, so the timing of the classes, they may find it inconvenient, say 8 to 9 classes. So actually, though there is no evidence, but then most of us would agree that compared to 12 to 1 class, in 8 to 9 class, there are less number of students. So inconvenient timing may be a reason. No preparatory leave before their exams is one of the other reason. And the students don't attend those classes if in that phase they are not being assessed for that subject. Say in phase 2, they don't come to pediatrics regularly because they know it's not their main subject for that phase. And but then compared to in phase 3, so they would be coming regularly in phase 2. And then what is happening? This availability of online material, they have this recorded lectures and all the subjects, all the topics are available over online, and which is available at their flexible time. So even in shorts they can attend the class, so they don't come for the class, so they can attend that topic, they can gain knowledge, so they are not coming. And one more thing, what is happening? This coaching culture, this starts from middle school, high school. So this is in their habit that they don't go to school, or they are going to some dummy school and they attend coaching from very early, like 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So the same thing continues over here also, and with the availability of so many coachings for PPG as well as for even MBBS curriculum. So they prefer to attend coaching rather than attending classes. And few other things like global crisis, like that the thing happened with the COVID pandemic, the attendance in the class decreased after that. And then students may be with so much economic instability, students may feel stressed they want their security in the terms of earning, they may want to study abroad. So they start preparing for that kind of exam and they just don't care about the MBBS. And so this is my views. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Bharati. So, after learning about the causes and the impact, can be the few solutions. And the solution starts right from the first teacher with us, and these are called parents. So, let's see. Do parents have any role in the low attendance of the student? I would like to ask Dr. Sudha ma'am how it can be improved.
I have this idea. This is a very tricky question. Actually, what used to happen was, like we used to go from home. It used to be that we used to go from our house. The first time we used to go and stay in the hostel, and then we miss even one class. We used to feel bad about it. We used to feel very awkward. I mean, in class I missed it, so I don't know what I missed. You know, so that's what we used to feel. But now I would take it from her, like. Children, they travel to other places just to appear for NEET exam. They go and enroll themselves. They are there staying in the hostel, you know, just to prepare for NEET exam. They come from there to the tier 2 cities, stay there, and then they take the help of these coaching classes. So they already are now free birds. That's what I want to say. They are free birds. Now they have to manage their time. They know how to manage their time. They don't have any angst about, you know, by the time they grow up and then they are 18-year-old and then they crack the PG, NEET pre-PG and then the NEET UG exam and then they come as a student and they already are very well, you know, cloned, you know, not to attend classes. They know, yes, I have another, as she very well, very correctly put it, they have other coaching classes. Idhar nahi jaye to main usme sun lunga at my own pace. Exactly that. So, parents do have a very strong influence initially, but then now it is lost. Though I put it up there, but now that influence is gone. Even as the student past his 10th standard, it is gone. But then there is always how you are brought up. That positive attitude is inculcated by your parents, and then the support they give you. You know, when you are really not sick and not knowing, they give you that support, and then they don't allow you to give excuses. So obviously, they understand what exactly the support is. They learn the good habits from the parents, and that is inculcated in the students by the parents. And now, if they carry whatever they have learned at home to the college, probably it will end up as a success in their career. But then again, now later, what else can happen? It can happen, as she said, there will be a big burden on the medical fraternity and the medical whatever we get advancements and medical help that we get. There will be a burden on that. But here what happens when they are going to be very, very disciplined, so what happens is they also see that economically they also succeed, and to add to that they also get social benefit. So they know that economically they succeed, and as they are very, very disciplined, they know how to treat their patients, they know how to behave with the patient, so they become popular in the social circle. So obviously that is also taken from the parents. And what happens? The students' esteem, self-esteem actually can be boosted by the parents themselves, and they improve the attitude towards the college. See, if the parents are college educated, fine. Then they can give them more, you know, impetus on how good it is to go and attend a college. If the parents are not college educated, then also it's fine. They know the importance of attending a college. So that is what it is. And there will be less of disobedience. So once they come into the college, there is no absenteeism. अपने दोस्त ही काफी है अपने को discipline करने के लिए. They are there to discipline us. So that is there. So once you attend, you be there, and your parents obviously you bring the culture from your home, and it helps to build, maintain healthy relationship. Once you're disciplined with your peers, you're disciplined with your seniors and your teachers too. So what happens is
they have seen that high and medium involvement in the student, upbringing of the parents, they saw that the students had higher grades. But if they involved themselves very less, so they saw that the students had lower grades. So it is now mandatory. I read it somewhere that suppose you send attendance. Now NMC has made it mandatory that you send attendance every month to NMC, to the particular university. Our university has made it mandatory. So when we send the attendance, so I read somewhere, the first time you send attendance to the university, yes. So if you find that necessary say come hai, first time send it to the student, second time send it to the student, third time send it to his student and send it to his parents, making it mandatory that they come and teach. So every 3 months you make it sure that they are being disciplined in your particular faculty. One particular faculty can, for 200 students, yes, उसमें 200 ही 200 नहीं मतलब absent. So I think it is still manageable. I am trying to do that actually. I am trying to do that in my department. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sudha. As parents has already approved dummy schooling for the preparation of the NEET, so the guilt is from the student and parents probably has gone, and that we need to strategies can be fostered to build the up. I would like to request
So, we all know that teacher-student relationship has a very crucial role. I like to bring two incidences which I personally evidenced. First of all, we have self-directed learning for our MBBS students as per the CBME curriculum. So, we asked them to present some seminars in self-directed learning. So, I was a moderator for the seminar. It was on CSF circulation. So, I asked them that, can you prepare a PPT? I said, no, we'll have that model. So, on that particular day, all of them were absent. None of the presenters were there in the class. Those who had been given that skill. So, second incident, I had scheduled bedside teaching case presentations for my postgraduates. Moderators, there were different moderators for different classes. So, they came to me and said, मैडम ये जो मॉडरेटर्स आपने लगाए हैं आप प्लीज इनको चेंज कर दीजिए। मैंने कहा क्यों? नहीं, ये लोग क्लास तो लेते हैं बट दे कीप ऑन जस्ट नगिंग अस। दे से बस वो डांटते हैं, क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं और डांटते हैं। दे आर नॉट टेलिंग अस द आंसर्स। सो वी डू नॉट लाइक देम टू बी आवर मॉडरेटर्स। मींस नाउडेज स्टूडेंट्स आर लाइक दिस। वी हैड हम लोग को तो इतनी हिम्मत भी नहीं होती थी कि वी कुड गो एंड टेल आवर टीचर्स दैट जो है हम हमारी इनके साथ क्लास मत लगाइए, वी डू नॉट वांट टू दिस एंड वी वांट आवर क्लासेस लाइक कि एज वी विश। सो दिस इज हाउ, सो वी हैव टू, आई डोंट नो वेयर वी हैव गॉन रॉन्ग दैट आवर स्टूडेंट्स आर बिहेविंग लाइक दिस। सो अ टीचर फॉर अ टीचर, the students they like to attend classes where they are valued, they are respected, and they have that psychological safety that they can the teacher is non-judgmental and the teacher is open, so they can ask questions, interactions, and nowadays the focus is that only on interactive learning. So we have to be now open and non-judgmental so that the student is free to ask any questions, to interact, so that the student attends the class. Secondly, the teacher who is teaching has to correlate the theory with the clinical, which can help in the clinical practice, with the clinical practice in future, so that the student thinks that it is relevant for me to learn this, so that it will be good for me, it will be helpful for me in our future practice. Then, as we know that if we are demonstrating what we expect from them, we have to be like the same. So we are role models for them. And students, when they see that their teacher is their teacher's compassion, their dedication, their clinical excellence, then they like to emulate these values in them. They inculcate these values and they want to attend the classes of those teachers, so that can reduce absenteeism. Then a teacher was giving a constructive feedback and is open to discussion and not giving any harsh criticism. They like those teachers and they want to attend the classes of those teachers. Then the teachers whom they trust, they can come and they can share their academic challenges, their personal struggles, and in that they try to attend those classes and they otherwise they try to ignore the classes. कि ये class तो जाना ही नहीं है. So these are the attributes which a teacher should have in order to build a good rapport with the student. Now, these are the same things. The strategies to foster a rapport is we have to go from didactic lectures, we have to shift ourselves towards interactive learning, problem-based learning, or flipped classrooms, or case simulation, so that the class becomes interesting for them and they could learn more. Then we have a teacher should be always accessible. As ma'am was telling that now NMC has told us that each of the student will have a mentor. So a mentor should be always accessible for the student. What rubbish they are asking, that does not matter, but a teacher has to be accessible for their queries and for proper mentoring whenever they require. And the teacher should show some empathy and respect. The teacher should also understand that what stress, academic stress or personal stress they are undergoing. The curriculum is so hard, they are not able to cope up with the curriculum. So that understanding the teacher should have. And what I talked, the teacher should always be ready to provide constructive and timely feedback. And the more emphasis in the new curriculum is on collaborative learning, that one should learn in small groups. They should be provided, they should be helped to make shared decision makings by to be involved in some projects and learning activities. Role modeling, that we know that most of us, we are role models for them. And the most important thing is that we have to appreciate them. We have whatever their attendance, their knowledge, their skills, whatever they are doing good, we have to appreciate publicly as well as privately too. So that we can make a classroom where the learning skills are more stressed upon rather than the marks, their performance.
Thank you, Preeti. As we have already overshooted the time, quickly I will ask the last question to Dr. Bharti. What else can be done to encourage the students to attend the class?
Thank you, ma'am. So, actually, to find out the solution for any problem is to find out the cause. So, we have discussed the cause, and as we know in a class, there are three things which are very much important: environment, say lecture hall, audiovisual aids, speaker, screen, smart board, teacher, and student. So, when all these three are in harmony, then only the things will be successful. So, Dr. Preeti has talked about the teaching methodology, how these can be improved so that students are attracted to attend the class, because somehow they are reading, though they are going to coaching, maybe because they are preparing for the PPG, but then some change in the methodology, like we can incorporate this thing, MCQs in the assessment, so that they at the same time they get exposure to MCQs as well as the type of assessment we are doing in the MBBS. So the teaching methodology should be changed. So this is the time to introspect ourselves also. As one of our earlier speaker was discussing about the faculty development program. So this is there. So the young faculty or those we all should undergo some kind of training so that we become a good teacher. So besides change in the teaching methodology, the other things, like if there is some problem with the infrastructure, that can be taken care of. Then this hybrid model can be adopted as we were doing during the COVID. So simultaneously lecture as well as the online class can be attended. So it will not be affecting the attendance. Then as in the surveys it was found out that they require, our UC students, they require preparation leave. Otherwise they will don't come to class. So in curriculum, we can schedule this mandatory preparatory leave before their exams. And then one more thing, that NMC has made the policy of the attendance. But then these attendance policies should be strictly implemented, and once if we debar few students if they are not eligible, so then that will set the example for other students to come in the class. And then this attendance can be, even the traditional roll call can be replaced with the AI powered attendance system, where they have some facial recognition, or then this can be integrated with the database, where they get the automated notification that you have now class, or your attendance is falling short, so they know that they have to go for the class. And then if they are coming for the class and say they have 80% attendance, 90% attendance, then some kind of reward for their attendance can be given, maybe some extra credit point. And we have kept this criteria of minimum attendance for the exam to appear in the exam. So even a few points can be given in the internal assessment as a credit point. So besides all this, I think these are the solutions which we should look for. And one more thing, we should be taking feedback from the student regularly at regular interval, so that we know where is the problem that they are not attending the class, and if we can correct it, we can rectify that, so certainly their attendance will improve. And that's all. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so I